All right, let's talk about sleep maxing. So what exactly is sleep maxing? It means getting the best sleep possible. It's gonna make you more athletic and aesthetic, because that's what we all about, being athletic over here. So real quickly, by the way, I am the one Sule. Played D1 football at the University of Miami. Now I'm super jacked and healthy. And now I'm just trying to give y'all the same knowledge and ism and free game that I myself wish I had when I was younger. So we're gonna get right into it. So sleep maxing, again, what is it? You know, because when it comes to explaining anything, telling y'all about anything, you gotta first know what we're talking about. Then you gotta know why we're talking about it. And then you gotta know how to do it, you know, but it's gotta follow that sequence of events. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So what is sleep maxing? Again, like I kind of just said in the intro, it's literally just getting the best possible sleep, not getting like, 10 hours, but feeling depleted and, not feeling well rested, not getting too little sleep and then suffering from sleep deprivation. No, it's getting just the perfect right amount of sleep that actually gives you the most energy, because at the end of the day, that's all that health is. When you have more energy, you're more healthy. Energy equals health. That's the way it works, okay? But not fake energy, not like, energy drinks or, taking stimulants and popping Zins. No, real energy that comes deep from your core, from your soul. That's why I'm the one Sule, you know what I'm saying? But boom. So that's all sleep maxing is, just getting you the best sleep possible. And why is this so important, okay? So boom, we know what we're talking about. We're trying to sleep max that we can get athletic and aesthetic, but why is it so important? Why? Well, it's very simple. When you sleep, better decisions, okay? Your thinking is gonna be more clear. When you sleep, it pretty much just clears up your mind so you can think more clearly. On top of this, better emotional regulation. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you're not gonna get as mad. If your girl acting up, you're not gonna spaz out and go crazy. If some dude bumps into you, again, you're not gonna go crazy. You're not gonna try to beat his ass over something very minor and trivial. You're not gonna have a nigga moment, you know what I'm saying? So boom, better decisions, emotional regulation, but on top of that too, muscle growth. You're gonna grow more muscle, of course. And of course, testosterone production. Everybody loves to talk about testosterone production. So pretty much you'll just look better, you'll feel better, you'll simply be better. And on top of that too, when you sleep, you dream. And in your dreams, if y'all are really privy and y'all are really smart, you need to start writing down your dreams, because your dreams have messages. Your dreams have messages. Every night when I wake, well, not every night. Every night I dream, but then when I wake up from my dream, I write down what happened in my dream, because oftentimes my dreams will have clues. Like it'll be certain shorties in my dreams. It'll be certain things throughout the day that I'm stressed about in my dreams. It'll be certain things that are about to happen the next day that'll be in my dreams. It's like, it's kind of freaky, but it's really not when you think about it. Dreams are a way to kind of like communicate with another realm. But that's a video for another day. Today we're just talking about sleep maxing, the basics. But yeah, so it's just gonna make you better. Simple as that. It's gonna make you smarter. It's gonna help with your mind. It's gonna help with your body as well. It's gonna also, give you those dreams, kind of like that spiritual connection. But on top of that too, just understand some of the greatest people of all time sleep. Athletes for one, like LeBron James, Roger Federer, the Williams sisters. I know I'm forgetting a couple people here. But for the most part, athletes sleep so that way they can just, maximize their performance. Like Usain Bolt, he would sleep like 10 hours a night. LeBron James, again, 10 to 12 hours a night. Roger Federer, 10 hours a night. What you notice is that these athletes are sleeping and they're at the top of their game. And another thing you'll notice about athletes as well, especially like something I myself noticed, was like the times in my life when I was getting like, when my sleep was dialed, when I was getting like 8 hours, like 8.5, 9 hours of sleep a night, that's when I would play the best. That's when I would perform the best. Like when I was playing at the University of Miami, the times when my sleep was the most consistent was also when I was just able to think more clearly. I wouldn't get as stressed out during just like certain situations. I'd be able to think more clearly. It was almost like I had my sixth sense activated. So that's what sleeping is gonna do for you. It's just gonna give you that, that added, just more. It's gonna give you that benefit. It's gonna give you that kind of like an advantage is what they call it. It'll give you that advantage. But on top of that too, like philosophers and whatnot, like people creating art would also sleep as well. Because here's the thing, just when you sleep, you work through problems. It's like, this is when your subconscious mind goes to work, and understand the subconscious is responsible for everything. So the more you sleep, the better you sleep, just the more that you'll get these benefits, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that too, don't believe like the rhetoric, because like nowadays, like a lot of people kind of neglect their sleep. You know, a lot of people go to bed at random times, start the week. A lot of people stay up late watching TV right before bed. And yes, to a certain extent, you can get away. You can still have success sleeping 5, 6, 7 hours a night. But the version of you that sleeps 8 hours a night, that sleeps 9 hours a night, is going to have just way better results. So yeah, while you might be able to function off the 6 or 7 hours of sleep, you'd be functioning better off the 8 hours of sleep, off the 9 hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying? And like personally, in my opinion, the perfect sweet spot, 7.5 hours of sleep. That's like the perfect sweet spot for, I think, like any dude when it comes to sleep. But yeah, like I said, there's even been like scientists who would like sleep, go to sleep thinking about a problem, and while they sleep, their brain would be solving that problem. They would get the answer to the problem as soon as they wake up. They write down that problem, they implement it in real life, and boom, problem solved. You know, there's like this dude, there's this archaeologist, he was trying to figure out like what this certain thing in the fossil was. He couldn't figure it out. You know, he went to bed thinking about it, his brain figured it out. As soon as he woke up, he sketched it out on a journal, and lo and behold, that's exactly what the fossil was. So just understand, sleep is very important beyond just like the looking good and the mental part. It's literally just kind of like a cheat code. Like me, before I go to bed, I think about my goals. I think about what I want in my life. Like there's a point in my life where like before I would go to bed, I would hypnotize myself. I'd be like, I'm the most athletic and aesthetic person in the world. And just when you think about that, like during my dreams, I'd be doing like backflips and stuff. I'd be dunking, I'd be doing all this crazy stuff because it gets into your subconscious mind. Whatever you think about, whatever you watch before bed is what you're gonna is what you're gonna be thinking about and like kind of playing with in your mind for the next however long you sleep. For me, it's like 8 to 9 hours. So remember that. And another thing too, also, that you notice with athletes is like athletes can fall asleep on command. I remember back when I was playing football a lot, I could nap anywhere. I can still nap anywhere. It don't matter the time, it don't matter. I can nap anywhere. So, you know, if you're an athlete, it's very easy to nap and get your sleep in. But anyways though, let's move on to how exactly do you maximize your sleep. And the first way to maximize your sleep is something known as empty the energy clip. And this is something that's become pretty popular on social media. But all it means is that you just give your all throughout the day. See, a lot of people out there are gonna tell you, oh, take this supplement, take glutathione and glucinate and magnesiuminate and all this other stuff. And look, you can do that, but one thing about me and this channel, I'm not big on the supplements. And chances are, if you like me, you're not big on the supplements either. For one, I just don't really trust supplements. I don't like thinking that I have to get something outside of myself in order to fuel myself. No. That's what it's all about. That's why when it comes to athletic, it's about being athletic, aesthetic, you know. Obviously athletics, the pursuit of excellence. Aesthetics, how you do it, your style, your craft. But then aesthetic, that's the discipline. That's the being able to just do anything possible in the world with just your soul, with just your energy, with just who you are as a person, your being. You know, that's why I be promoting the fasting so much, because it shows that you have control over one of your base animal desires, your appetite, and that you can not only do things, but you can succeed and thrive without anything in your system, without needing anything outside yourself. So that's why I say you don't really need any like supplements or whatnot. This isn't going to be me telling you what supplements to buy so that y'all can support, my affiliate code or whatever. No, it's just empty the energy clip. Just give your all throughout the day. Train hard, work hard, move, talk to people, just whatever you do. Empty the energy clip. Give your all to whatever you do, because if you give your all to whatever you do, if you train like a maniac, you train super hard where you're like in the gym, you're like, or something like that. You work super hard where you're just super dialed in, no distractions, no phone going off, no random ping here and ping there that's taking you out of the deep focus block. No, none of that. It's like you move throughout the day, you're constantly walking, maybe you're just fidgeting, you're just moving your body and whatnot. It's like when you talk to people, you're fully there. You're not just kind of like on your phone, half paying attention and like, oh yeah, for sure. But no, but you're like fully there and actually communicating with people and, actively listening and giving and giving good ass just responses and whatnot, because you actively listening, you know what I'm saying? So boom, that's all it really means to empty the energy clip, is just to give your all to the day. Fully give your all to the day. Because here's the thing, if you fully give your all to the day, like all the other stuff that I'm about to tell y'all after this point doesn't really matter. You can watch TV right before bed. You can get blue light beamed into your face. You can do the most, craziest workout right before you go to bed. You can have the most like jarring news freaking that you can possibly have, like your homie slamming you out or your girl slamming you out or something. You can get news like that right before bed. But since you empty the energy clip, you're just gonna hear that and you're gonna fall right to sleep. That's the whole point. When you empty the energy clip, when you give your all to the day, you'll just fall asleep on command. You don't need no special you don't need nothing. You don't need nothing to put you to sleep because you've already gotten rid of all your energy, That's how sleep works. Sleep is just meant to recharge you. You wake up in the morning at 100% of your energy. As the day goes on, you slowly deplete down to 0, go to sleep and recharge. Simple as that. So when you empty the energy clip, you're at 0 at the end of the day. It don't matter. You can do anything and you still gonna fall asleep. Now, number 2, getting more into the nuance of it all, is just routine. And when I say routine, that's really all there is to it. It's just having a consistent routine that you stick to, meaning that you go to sleep at the same time, even on the weekends. So if you wanted to, go out and whatnot, here's what I'll say. When it comes to, your sleep time and routine, obviously you can go out and have your fun on the weekends. But what I would say is that if you're gonna go out on the weekends, if like normally you go to bed at 10 and you wake up at 6, you still have to wake up at 6. One of the two has to stay the same, no matter what. Either you wake up at the same time or you go to bed at the same time every single day. And then ideally, you do both of them at the same time every single day. But if you slip up, you at least need to get one of them right. So if you go out and you stay out till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you got to get back up at 6 a.m. And the cool thing is your body just automatically going to wake you up at 6 a.m. because your body's going to be used to waking up at that time. You get what I'm saying? So it's not really something you have to think too much about. The whole point though is just have a consistent time when you go to bed, so that way your body knows, oh, it's getting to 10 o'clock. It's time for us to get tired, release the melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, by the way. It's time for us to give you the sleepiness and put you to sleep. And then once it gets to 6 a.m., oh, it's time to give you the cortisol, stress hormone. This wakes you up. It's time to wake this dude up. You know what I'm saying? So just keep your time consistent. On top of this, you also want to keep your actual night routine consistent. So for me personally, what I like to do before bed, I like to do some stretching. So I'll just do like some light stretching. I might foam roll out or something. On top of this too, obviously I like to clean myself. I don't like to go to bed feeling like a dirty bum. So take a shower, brush my teeth, wash my booty hole, all that good stuff. On top of this too, I also like to meditate. Before bed and when I wake up, meditate, obviously, just because when I meditate, breathing deep, which relaxes me. But on top of this is when I also like to think over my dreams. I like to think over my goals. I like to think over the things that I want in my life. So that way when I go to bed, this is what I'm going to be playing with and thinking about as I sleep and whatnot. And then on top of this too, plan tomorrow today. This is probably the most important part of my night routine. I plan tomorrow the night before. So that way when I wake up, I don't have to frantically search around like, okay, what should I do today? No, I know what I need to do today. It's just a matter of doing it and getting it done. So boom, that's a good night routine for y'all to try. Just stretch, clean yourself up, meditate, plan tomorrow today. And on top of this too, you can also read a book. If you read a book, especially like a fiction book, like some Harry Potter, some Lord of the Rings, some Dune, some just sort of fiction book right before bed, I'm telling you, you're gonna go to sleep like that. On top of this too, if you have sex right before bed, that helps a lot. But I'm not gonna lie, No Nut November is coming up, so this one is gonna be kind of tricky for y'all, because if you have sex and you don't bust, you know what I'm saying? What happens is you low-key get more energy. So use the whole sexy time thing, use that sparingly. All right, use that sparingly. But yeah, it's really simple as that. Go to sleep at the same time, have a consistent night routine, and of course also have a consistent place, have a consistent environment. Look, if you sleeping at random places all the time, you're just not gonna get that good of sleep. Your body's not gonna be used to sleeping at those random places. So make sure that you just go to sleep in your bed at the same time every single night and have your consistent routine. And have your consistent routine, because what that's gonna do is it's gonna pretty much just signal to your body, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. That means it's time for us to wind down. It's time for us to go to sleep. Ba-boom. All right, now last thing we're gonna go over is just your environment. So obviously your environment can be kind of hard to control, especially like if you're in college or something, or you're living with other people. I remember like when I was in college, I'd always have to deal with like loud roommates, because we'd just be on different schedules, and like when I'm going to bed, they're kind of like getting more active and doing shit and whatnot. So Ideally, you want to live alone, or you want to live in a place where everyone in your crib is on like the same sort of schedule. So that way there's no discrepancy. There's nothing kind of like egging you on. It's like, oh, maybe I should just stay up later and, you know, hang out with friends and whatnot. It's like, no, don't do that, because you're gonna fuck up your sleep. You're gonna fuck up the rest of your day the next day. Keep your environment consistent in that way. So there's a couple things you can do. For one, light. At night, you don't want to be looking at blue light. You don't want to be beaming your face with any light for that matter. Like, I'll show y'all real quickly. Like, that light over there, I never turn that on at night. Never. That light stays the fuck off, because it is just way too bright, especially at night when I'm trying to wind down. You know, it's gonna wake me up. It's gonna make me think that it's daytime outside. So ideally at night, what you really want to do is you want to have, you know, pretty much no light. Or if you do have light, if you have like LED lights, or you have like one of those LED lamps, you want to switch the color to either like red or orange, kind of one of those darker colors, those darker reddish orangish colors, because that stuff, it actually activates melatonin. It makes sure it doesn't keep you up at night. If you have your lights on like blue or purple or green or something, those don't work as well. Those might keep you up a little bit at night. But if you keep your lights red, and not just for sexy time, but just in general, like my homies would tell you, if you come into my room at any time as soon as the sun goes down, the light in my room is gonna be red. You know, it's not gonna be changing like this. It's just gonna be like red. It's literally that. And I don't do that just for sexy time. Like I said, I do that for the sleep, for the mind. It just so happens to coalesce and coincide and work well with the sexy time. You know, so it's a good deal. But yeah, so just light. No overhead light, and really just, yeah, especially just no overhead light. Use like candles and whatnot. Have like, again, lamps and whatnot. And yeah, just no artificial / overhead light. On top of this, during the day, get sun. Go out in the sun. Y'all have heard the thing about morning sunlight. You go outside and like stare at the sun, or just go outside for like 30 seconds. That boom sets your circadian rhythm, so that way you will be waking up when the sun rises and you'll be tired when the sun sets. Or just getting out and getting some sun during the day. You know, go on a walk in the sun throughout the day. Go read outside, go stretch outside, do something outside. You just get sunlight, and that's just gonna regulate your circadian rhythm and make sure that you get tired when the sun goes down and wake up when the sun goes up. So get sun. On top of this too, again, I'll just mention that again, red light / lamps after dark. And on top of this too, your environment should just be quiet. It shouldn't be too many distractions, shouldn't be too much going on. And it should also be cold, very cold. You wanna keep your room cold. If you ever try to sleep in a hot room, it doesn't work too well. It fucking sucks. It's ass, honestly. You're just sweating, it's just gross. It doesn't feel good. So yeah, keep your environment quiet, cold, and pretty much just dark as well. If you do that, you're gonna be sleep maxing. But last little thing I decided to add as well, it's just supplements. I don't take supplements personally, but if y'all wanna mess around with the supplements, you can do it. Again, you don't really need it. As long as you empty the energy clip, as long as you train hard, work hard throughout the day, just have a good environment in your crib and whatnot. And also don't eat too close to bed. Avoid eating like 2 to 3 hours before bed. So that way your body doesn't have to digest and get you deep sleep as once. You can just focus on the deep sleep. But also just take stuff like magnesium, glycine. You can also take melatonin. But yeah, these are just the supplements you can take: magnesium, glycine, melatonin. There's also stuff like L-theanine. But again, I don't know too much about these supplements. I don't use them myself. It's just something that if you want to go down that route, you can do that. But again, like I said, we don't really need anything outside ourselves on this channel. We got everything we need in here. Simple as that. But yeah, that's how you sleep max, y'all. It's very simple. It's very simple. Empty the energy clip. Actually give your all throughout the day. That's what's going to make the biggest impact. But then after that, it's just about routine, going to bed at the same time every night. Having a consistent sleep schedule, just having a consistent place to sleep at, and just having a good environment as well. Making sure that, you know, your room is just dark, cold, and quiet. And then if you want to take some supplements and whatnot, do that, but also just avoid eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. And you're Gucci. Get your sunlight throughout the day. And again, you're Louis Vuitton. You're chilling, big chilling. You're Dior. So yeah, with that being said, remember to stay up, stay blessed, and stay based. Remember that self-love is self-discipline. And remember to check out the last video I made. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Gee, I know I'm saying a lot. But also, remember to check out my coach. And the coaching spots are already filling up and whatnot. So I already have one spot booked away. So That means there's like 4 spots left. I'm considering opening it up to 10 people in total, but for now I'm just gonna keep it at 5. It's kind of like, this is kind of like a trial run experiment. But again, and with my coaching, you will get athletic, you'll get aesthetic. But on top of that too, we're gonna work through any other issues you have beyond fitness, but we're mainly just gonna focus on the fitness part. So yeah, if you wanna get coached, you already know where to go. Top link in the description below. But with all that being said, I'm out. Dooski.